Hello guys, in this video we're going to be talking about field of view settings. Now in case you didn't know, this was one of the new features added with the next gen upgrade. On the PlayStation 4 version you aren't able to adjust your field of view at all, which is quite annoying. So it's great that we have it now on the PS5 version, and I'm going to talk you through my own settings and how you can find yours. Now there are a number of things you need to take into account when adjusting your field of view, and this is the size of your monitor, the distance away from it that you're sitting, as well as any equipment you have in front of you. So personally, where I've got the steering wheel right in front of me, I don't like seeing a steering wheel on the screen as well. I find having two wheels just very distracting. So personally, what I like to do is imagine that I really am sitting in the seat of a race car, and then I adjust the distance to the dash as best as I can to feel like that's where the end of the dashboard would be if I was in a car, and then I adjust the field of view based upon how far I feel like I should be seeing up the track. So here are the settings that I use for the BMW M4 GT3 car. We've got the height at 5, that's quite high, but I'm quite a tall driver, so I like to replicate that in the game. And then we've got the lateral on 0. We don't want to be moved over to the middle of the car. Distance on -3, the field of view on 48 degrees, the pitch on -1.3 degrees, and then we have everything else set to default. I don't like to have any movement in the camera either, because I find that quite distracting, especially when you're trying to be consistent and set fast lap times. So there are a few other settings that you can adjust in the view settings. One of them is if you prefer to use the cockpit view that does have the steering wheel, you do have the option to remove both the driver's hands and the steering wheel if you wish to do so. You can also have a locked steering wheel, or just have the wheel moving without the driver. And then you also have the ability to add a virtual dashboard onto your screen, which can be useful if you've adjusted the distance in the in-car settings to the point where you can't see the full dashboard. So there are online calculators that can calculate the ideal mathematical field of view for you based on the size of your screen and the distance that your eyes are from the screen. So what I'll do is I'll put a link in the description for a couple of these calculators if you want to try it yourself. Personally, I use a slightly wider field of view than what is mathematically correct for me, just because it gives me a little bit more peripheral vision. I find I just feel a little bit too up close when I use the ideal mathematical field of view. Now I should also point out that these settings are for this specific car, and I do often use slightly different settings in different cars just because of the way the interiors are laid out. I like to try and get in a very similar position if I can in each car, but generally I will keep the degrees of field of view the same. Now thanks for watching guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you have any further questions on this, and if there's anything you'd like to see me cover in the future. Give the video a thumbs up if you have found it useful, and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you again very soon.